afternoon, guys and girls. Behind me, you probably see that we've got the HZ. Obviously, if you've clicked on the video, you know that we're going to be polishing up the paint on it, cleaning up all the surface rust, that sort of thing. I'm going to show you guys how I do that and what I sort of find what works the best. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. I mean, you know, a lot of people would probably go, Kyle, what are you doing? Why you are polishing up paint on a car that doesn't even have quarter panels joined to it? But you know, later down the track, when we get to the point of actually painting the replacement quarter panels, once they're actually welded onto the car, I'm going to need the paint that is currently on the car, so the original paint. So like what we've got on the roof here, I'm going to need that in reasonably good condition, just so it can be color matched as closely as possible. So yeah, so that's a little bit of the reason behind that, and yeah, hopefully we can get stuck into this, and I'll show you guys a thing or two. And so just a little bit of a look at what we're working with. The roof has probably got the worst paint on it. Now that might look pretty bad, but a lot of that surface rust is actually just the bleed through. There might be like little paint fractures, that sort of thing. Like as you can see, that's just a little scratch. I mean, obviously it's back down to bare metal, but what's really making it look worse is the actual bleed through of the rust. So the surface rust that's coming out from that little scratch is then obviously leaching and yeah, just staining the paint really. So it really looks worse than what it really is. I've had a little bit of a play around with the paint that's already on this car, and hopefully if the rest of the car comes up looking as good as this, I'll be pretty happy. But as you can see, there is still some imperfections in the paint. Like it's far from perfect. It's just getting the paint to look a little bit better. What we're going to start on first is the roof, because that's definitely the worst part on the car. Now, my methods might not be 100% right. It's just something I've sort of picked up on through trial and error. And what I find when you're starting on something like this, the best thing that you can do that I've found is get yourself a microfiber, and this is just some glass cleaner. This is just some that I've got kicking around. You can use basically any glass cleaner. Just try it on an area first, you know, to see if it's not going to damage your paint or anything like that. But I find that'll clean up the paint to a point where you can start your polishing process and you don't have to worry about damaging your pads or anything like that. Now, the pads that I'll be using on this car are old, so I'm not really too worried about the condition of them. But if you're going out and buying, you know, brand new polishing gear to sort of, you know, restore your own paint on your own car that's, you know, looking as haggard as this, I definitely recommend cleaning down your panels with either glass cleaner or going the next step and actually clay barring them. So, but yeah, like it's up to you guys what you want to do. This is just something that I find works. So I like the glass cleaner method, and that'll get rid of any sort of like greasy handprints, any dirt that's sort of trapped inside here, and yeah, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's where I like to start off. It's made a little bit of improvement just already, but obviously I'm still going to need to polish up any of this surface rust. There's actually, I can almost see back down to the red oxide in that spot, so I'll have to be a little bit careful. But yeah, this is sort of what's already come off. So yeah, like I said, I find the glass cleaner is really good for cleaning any sort of nasties off the paint. Because yeah, obviously that was a brand new microfiber cloth when I started. So yeah, it's definitely done its job. And if you skip that step, you'll end up with all of that stuff inside your polishing gear. So, which I mean, it can be cleaned, but like, you know, if you can avoid it going in there to start off with, definitely do that. So yeah, that's sort of what we're working with at the moment. All right, so I've got the polishers out and the buff. So basically this is all I'm really going to be using on this, just because I'm not going to go really any further than actually just getting a good cut on the paint and getting some gloss back into it. I'm not going to worry too much about following it through with 50 steps of this, that, and the other. I'm just going to get gloss back into the panel again, and for that I'm just going to be using the Juice Q cut and a lamb's wool. Yeah, anyway, this is that's how that's come up. It's not perfect. Obviously, there's still scratches and stuff in the roof. There's a few spots where the top coat's wearing a little bit thin. Not quite sure what happened there. That was before my ownership, but yeah, it's definitely a lot better than what it was. I mean, you just got to bring you around this side. I mean, you can see that just a little bit. There's actually gloss on the roof now, so yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Hopefully the rest of the roof will come up as good as that, and yeah, it'll be happy days really. Might look into repainting the roof later on, but for now I think that'll definitely do me. So yeah, I think if the other side sort of comes up sort of as good as what this area has, I should be able to blend in the paint. So yeah, that shouldn't be a drama. Yeah, just another little thing that I thought I'd mention with you guys. You might have noticed in between the polishing stages, I actually went over the roof a few times with the glass cleaner. I find that sort of stops any major build-up of cutting compound inside the scratches or in the little rust spots. Because yeah, it's definitely an issue when it comes to doing stuff like this, with your compound getting stuck in all the little divots in the paint. So yeah, try and keep on top of that so that doesn't get a big build up. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with that though. So yeah, I'm going to keep going with this one, and yeah, hopefully get the rest of the car polished up as well. Well, apart from the back end. At some point, this door's had an aftermarket strip stuck onto it, so I'm just getting the adhesive off that. Now, you could use they call them like an eraser wheel or something like that. I find I don't really like using them on acrylic paint just because they do heat up and they can burn. So yeah, I definitely find getting the bulk of it off with the razor blade because obviously that's how it's been all the way across. Get the bulk of it off with a razor blade, and then clean the rest off with a little bit of thinners and prep cell. Just, yeah, obviously don't go too crazy with the thinners because, yeah, you rub the paint off. But, yeah, hopefully a little while longer and I can get this door on the car. So, yeah, be a bit of a change, I reckon. Tell you what, that was a very strange thing to do. I mean, like, I've changed panels before on, you know, I've lost count on how many cars I've changed panels on, but like changing a panel on a car that hasn't had any panel replacements in, 44 years, it's certainly something else. I mean, like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Just the feeling that it gave me, I suppose. But yeah. Anyway, the door's on, so yeah, I'm really happy with that. I ended up taking the door trim off the replacement door, and I put that on the original door. So I'll put that back in storage. But yeah, everything's all adjusted, and yeah, I'm really happy with that. So yes, almost probably a wrap up for today. So yeah, pretty happy with that. It's almost like a new car now. But yeah, hopefully a little bit more polishing. I think I might end up doing the bonnet just for shits and giggles, really. Because yeah, the rest of the car's kind of looking pretty nice. So yeah, I think I will. I'll polish up the bonnet, and yeah, really happy with how this is coming around. I did give the back door just a little bit of a polish up just while it was off the car. I'll go over that once more now that it's on the door, on the car. The door's on the car. Still a little bit of something going on there. I might end up having to sand that just a little bit, just because where the pinstriping was. There's a few little nicks in it, but I'm not going to get too carried away. I love the way the panels open and shut on this car. I really do. Colour's not too bad either, I noticed.